Welcome to Micro Lessons. Today we're going to be talking about level 4. The goal of level 4 is for them to swim a full lap of side breathing freestyle. Okay. With that being said, level 4s that come to you, they cannot swim a full lap of freestyle. So you need to be working for level 4, shorter distances, working on their technique before you introduce a full lap. If you think they're ready to move up to level 5, that's when you would introduce one full lap of breathing to the side, because that's what they have to do to pass it, okay? Once they can do that, and they can do the other skills in level 4, then they can move up. So for freestyle, for side breathing, we call it bubble arm breathing arm, okay? This is how you're gonna teach it to your kids. What you're gonna do is ask them if they're right-handed or left-handed. If they're not sure, you can always ask which hand do you write your name with. And that's how I usually judge what their breathing arm is and what their bubble arm is. So if they are right-handed, they're going to use their right hand and look to that side to breathe. So this is now their breathing arm. The opposite arm, my left, is now my bubble arm. So anytime I use my left arm, my face is going to be in the water looking down and blowing nose bubbles out, okay? And then it's up to you to remind them as they're doing this. For the 10 feet that you're practicing, you have to say bubble arm, breathing arm, okay? So what you want to do is it's bubble arm, breathing, and when you start teaching this in level 4, I would switch from the barbell to the kickboard. This just provides better alignment in the water. You can also use your hand. I'm going to show you with David. Okay, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
You're right-handed, okay. So this is your right.
Yes.
So whenever you're doing side breathing, okay, you want to make sure you're standing to the opposite side of their breathing arm. That way you can correct their head and make sure that their one ear is staying in the water. You're going to do face in, and they're always going to start with their bubble arm, right? Because they're starting with the breath out of the water. Okay, so big breath, bubble arm, bubble, turn, breathe, back to bubble, then turn and breathe. Keep that ear in. Good job. Good job, David. Okay, so a couple problems you might encounter with side breathing. One being that when they turn to breathe, they're holding their breath, right? They're not taking their breath. This is usually because they are not blowing their bubbles in the water, right? So you have to make sure that they start to exhale when they're on their bubble. If they're not exhaling, they're not going to be ready to take their breath, okay? Really watch for that. The other one is their leading arm is already pulled back, okay? So I like to call their bubble arm also their pillow arm, okay? So their bubble arm is also a pillow. What do you do with a pillow? You put your head on it, right? Okay, so as soon as they're done with their bubble arm, they're gonna put their head on it and take their breath. When they're done taking their breath and their arms coming overhead, then they can switch. Okay? Mr. David, do you want to show them what it might look like without the arm out?
Without that, what do you mean?
Like the arm not staying out.
Okay.
So this is what it might look like. So see how his face starts to drop? He's not really getting his breath. What you want to do is make sure that that bubble arm is staying out like a pillow so they can balance properly in the water and get their breath.